Le chercheur français Roland Marchal, que l'on voit ici sortir de la prison d'Evin à Téhéran, est rentré samedi en France. Il a été libéré après avoir été détenu pendant plus de 9 mois en Iran avec sa compagne Fariba Adelka, tous deux accusés de collusion en vue d'attenter à la sûreté nationale. Selon l'Iran, la libération de Roland Marchal aurait eu lieu en échange de la libération par la France de cet ingénieur iranien menacé d'extradition aux États-Unis.
Now in other news, Israel's security agency Shin Bet charged a 50-year-old Israeli citizen with spying on behalf of the Islamic Republic of Iran. According to the indictment, the suspect was in contact with a Lebanese national via Facebook in 2018, after which he met with the latter once in Denmark and once in France, where the Lebanese man revealed he was acting on behalf of Iranian intelligence, which asked of him to establish contacts with the accused. Subsequently, the suspect returned to Israel, yet after failing to operate an encoded device with which he was supposed to send messages to Iran, the Israeli man sought to dispose of the evidence.
Iran executed Kurdish political prisoner Mustafa Salimi in Zakres prison on Saturday. He was on death row for 17 years. Recently, he managed to break out of prison during the riots on March 27th. He was extradited to Iran a few days ago by the Kurdistan Authority of Iraq. Salimi was taken to solitary confinement. Sources close to this prisoner say he was subjected to various physical and psychological torture during his detention.
His gun's unpinned.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's coming up.
Well, Iran has spent a decade trying to improve its rocket technology. It fired its first successful satellite into orbit in 2009. But in recent months, it's had several failed launches. The latest coming in February when Iran failed to put its Zafar-1 communications satellite into orbit. And last year, it had 3 failures, including a rocket explosion in August. So, Zain, this satellite, what can it do?
Well, what we know is what we've heard from the military. Really, this came as a surprise, not just to the rest of the world, but to Iranians as well. They awoke to what is effectively the news of a successful secret operation carried out by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps from a desert location in the central desert area of Iran. They heard that this morning that this rocket was launched into space. The satellite, named Noor for light, is now 425 kilometers above us, orbiting Earth. And we heard it straight from the head of the IRGC himself. This is for military purposes, and it is likely to be used for intelligence gathering, for military reconnaissance, for navigation and movements of military assets.
I can confirm it's an open secret that Huawei sells to Iran. That's the message from former Huawei employee Li Hongyuan in a private WeChat group of other former employees on December 11th, 2018. Their former employer had just been accused of violating U.S. sanctions on Iran, and the company's CFO had just been arrested. Because of the sanctions, it would have been illegal for Huawei to sell any U.S. origin goods or technology to the country. But while Li didn't offer tangible evidence of sanctions violations, he was arrested by Chinese police with 4 other former employees shortly after. Li was detained for 251 days and told the New York Times that the police appear to have arrested them in part to stop them from speaking about Huawei's activities in Iran. Another one of the former employees, Zhang Meng, who was also arrested on accusations of leaking trade secrets, told the New York Times that the Chinese police told him that by discussing Huawei's Iranian business and communicating with foreign news outlets, he had crossed a line.
On the day U.S. oil prices fell farther than ever before, Iranian media seemed to relish the news. The United States has used oil like a weapon against Iran for years, and its effectiveness was ending. Iran's president said U.S. sanctions had helped his country become less susceptible to the tumbling market. Iran, he said, is now less reliant on oil.
If we want to say that Iran's economy was not affected by the oil price drop, I think that's wrong. It has definitely been impacted. But if other countries fell from the 10th floor, then Iran fell from the 2nd floor, because Iran has already fallen in the past due to sanctions.
On the day U.S. oil prices fell farther than ever before, Iran has put satellites